You know, when you're reading the Quran and a tiny detail just catches your eye. It seems so simple on the surface, but you get this feeling that there's something much, much deeper going on. Well, we're about to dive into one of those details. And trust me, the answer is way more profound than you could ever guess.
Here it is. It's a question that's probably crossed your mind, right? Allah created every single fruit. So why does the Quran specifically mention olives, figs, grapes, dates, and pomegranates, but you never see mangoes, or pineapples, or strawberries? It feels like a small thing, but as Dr. Haney from the Marvelous Quran channel shows us, this one little question is actually the key to unlocking a powerful code hidden within the Quran. Okay, so check this out. This is our first major clue. On one side, you've got the fruits mentioned in the Quran: olives, pomegranates, dates. Think about them. They grow on trees that take decades to mature. They represent something lasting, something deep. And on the other side, you've got what the followers of Musa impatiently asked for: herbs, squash, lentils, things that grow super fast, low to the ground, and they're gone in a season. They wanted the quick fix. This contrast between patience and haste is everything.
So to solve this whole mango mystery, Dr. Haney lays out this incredible journey for us. We're going to start with the puzzle, then unlock the code for how to even read the Quran properly. We'll explore two different ways of thinking, see why every single word matters, and finally uncover what fruit really means. And then we'll see how it all comes together for a very practical purpose. Let's do this.
All right, let's get into it. The key to this mango question isn't just about the fruits themselves. It's about a powerful way of interpreting the Quran that can solve what look like contradictions all over the place. So take this verse about the prophet Yunus. It says Allah made a tree of gourds grow over him. Now wait a minute. Gourds, like pumpkins or squash, they grow on vines that creep along the ground. They don't grow on a shajara, a tree. So is this a contradiction? A mistake? Nope. It's a puzzle. And the Quran itself gives us the key to solve it. And here is the first major tool Dr. Haney gives us. He calls it nested interpretation. The idea is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. If a verse seems confusing, the answer isn't somewhere else. It's nested deep inside another verse in the Quran. You just have to know how to look for it. So, the key here is one tiny little word, min. In other parts of the Quran, this word min can mean instead of. Now, if you take that key and plug it back into the verse about Yunus, the whole thing just transforms. It's not a contradiction anymore. It means that instead of the quick, temporary gourds, Allah gave him a real, long-lasting tree. After making a rushed mistake, he was given the gift of patience and permanence. See how that works? And this brings us to the second gift, which is a direct command. Even the Prophet Muhammad himself, peace be upon him, was told, "Do not rush with the Quran." This sets up a core principle for all of us. True understanding takes patience. It's not an instant download. This whole theme of patience versus rushing is absolutely central to everything.
Now, this whole idea of not rushing, it's not just a nice piece of advice. It actually points to two completely different ways our brains can work: a fast way and a slow way.
To really get this, Dr. Haney brings up a classic brain teaser from the book Thinking Fast and Slow. Ready? A racket and a ball cost $1.10 total. The racket costs exactly $1 more than the ball. So, how much does the ball cost? Go with your gut. What's the first answer that pops into your head?
Almost everyone's brain screams 10 cents, right? That's the fast, intuitive answer. But it's wrong. Think about it. If the ball is 10 cents and the racket is $1 more, the racket would be $1.10. And $1.10 plus 10 cents is $1.20. Nope. The right answer, the one you get when you slow down, is 5 cents. The ball is 5 cents, the racket is $1.05, and together they make $1.10. Now, what's amazing is how Dr. Haney connects this to two paths described right in the Quran. There's al-ajla, the hurried, speculative path that gets you the wrong answer, and then there's al-akhirah, the delayed, careful path whose efforts are rewarded. So we have these two paths, fast and slow. The obvious question is, how do we make sure we stay on the right one? Well, it all comes down to paying incredibly close attention to the Quran's precise language, where words we might just brush past actually have very specific, distinct meanings. Take the word zikr. It's so easy to just assume that means the Quran or remembrance, but Dr. Haney shows that its technical meaning is super specific. It refers only to the stories and parables of the prophets within the Quran, not the whole book, but that specific section. This kind of precision is about to become really important.
And that same precision applies to the word hijab. Now,
In this context, Dr. Hani explains this has zero to do with an item of clothing. The Quran calls it a hijaban masturan, a concealed barrier. It's a metaphysical barrier that Allah places between those who are trying to find deep understanding and those who are just rushing through.
In this verse is where it all clicks together. It says that when you discuss the zikr, those prophetic stories, by relying on the Quran alone, some people will literally turn their backs and walk away. Dr. Hani points out the grammar here. The word for alone, wahda, refers directly to the Quran. The message is clear. The Quran has to be the only source for understanding these stories. And people who want to add in their own rushed speculations, they're repelled by that idea. They're stuck behind that hijab.
Okay, so we've got all our tools now: nested interpretation, the slow and patient path, and a focus on precise language. With all that, we can finally go back to our original question and solve this mango mystery once and for all.
And here it is, the big reveal. After this whole journey, understanding patience, different ways of thinking, and how the Quran itself provides the keys, we can finally ask the big question: what is fruit?
The answer is that fakiha, the Arabic word for fruit, is a metaphor. It's not just about things that grow on trees. Fruit represents the sweet, nourishing, profound understanding that you get when you take that slow, diligent path, the path of al-akhirah. It's the reward for your patience. It's the knowledge that takes time to grow, but once you have it, it can nourish you for a lifetime.
And that right there is the answer to our question. The Quran doesn't just promise us 5 types of physical fruits. It promises fawakihu kathira, many fruits. So are mangoes in the Quran? Yes. Metaphorically, mangoes, pineapples, strawberries, they all represent the countless delicious insights that are just waiting to be harvested by anyone who's willing to take the patient path.
So, understanding this metaphor is huge, but so what? What's the ultimate point? Why does Allah want us to go through all this effort to harvest these fruits of understanding?
This is the final gift, and honestly, it might be the most beautiful one. Dr. Hani shows us the purpose of this entire process. Step 1, you engage in that slow, diligent study. Step 2, you harvest these fruits, these deep understandings. And then step 3, you use those exact words, those precise concepts you just learned, to make dua, to supplicate to Allah. You are using the keys He Himself gave you to talk back to Him. It's beautiful.
So, this whole journey, which started with a simple question about mangoes, leads us straight to the heart of our relationship with Allah. It's about how we understand His words, and then how we use that very understanding to speak with Him. It's not about just collecting facts, it's about turning knowledge into actual devotion.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. The Quran isn't a book to be rushed through. It's a garden, and it's full of fawakihu kathira, so many fruits. It takes patience, it takes care, but the harvest is a profound understanding that truly nourishes the soul. So the only question left is, what fruits are waiting in there for you?
If this way of thinking excites you and you want to keep harvesting this kind of knowledge, I highly recommend you check out Dr. Hani's YouTube channel, Marvelous Quran. He goes this deep on so many other topics.